This is Weekend Edition. I'm Alex Chadwick. Coming up, the astonishing insights into how we know ourselves through memory. But first, in Nashville this afternoon, a ceremony honors the first inductee into the new Women in Music Hall of Fame. This is something of a leap of faith. The Women in Music Hall of Fame has no home as of now. But they've decided to go ahead and name the first recipient Myra Smith. Don't be too puzzled if you've never heard of Myra Smith or Ram Records, the record label she founded 40 years ago in Shreveport, Louisiana.
That's what Sam bought an automobile. No money down is a real good deal. He didn't want to wait, just ride around town. The finance company put his feet on the ground. Oh, Flatfoot Sam, you're always in a jam.
Myra Smith was one of the first women to own and run a record label, and she brought people like Roy Perkins, TV Slim, and others into her studios, including a young woman named Margaret Lewis. We spoke with Margaret Lewis a year ago when a compilation of previously unreleased Ram recordings came out. This week, Margaret Lewis talked with us again from the studios of member station KDAQ in Shreveport. She'll be accepting the award for Myra Smith, who died of cancer 6 years ago.
She was a songwriter, she was a musician, a great guitar player, and in the 50s, when there was no facility in Shreveport to record the music, she actually delved into learning the business of audio production and studied how to actually build a studio. And she just had a stable of artists through the years, beginning with country artists, rockabilly artists, rhythm and blues. Myra had no limits to the styles of music that she loved to produce and release on Ram Records.
We introduced you to our listeners last year, and we'd like to hear a cut of your music. You're singing here. Myra Smith is on guitar on a song the two of you co-wrote called From the Cradle to the Blues.
No measure of time, just the cradle, then the blues, just one sudden spark, and you win or you lose. Never had to give up so much. Never felt so helpless. Can't stand much more. No wonder.
Margaret, tell me about that song and about recording with Myra Smith.
That song was written back in the early 60s, I believe. Myra was searching for a distinctive sound on the guitar, and we would go into the studio and just spend countless hours experimenting with sounds. And finally, she achieved the sound on the guitar that we both really liked and thought it had such a lonesome sound. And we wrote these lyrics basically to that sound of music.
What a lonesome old world, to be living in.
Her limitation was money. A musicologist we talked to said Ram Records simply didn't have the money to really promote these artists, get them out there, and frankly deal in payola, which was rampant in the 50s in getting records played on stations all across the country. She didn't have the resources to really make Ram and her artists a big hit. And so eventually the company went out of business.
Yes, that was the problem. And it was totally impossible back in those days for banks to give loans, for women to get loans for these type of endeavors. And there was just finally no choice but to close the record label.
Do you think things would be different for her today?
Oh, definitely. I think Myra would be right at the top of everything that's happening in the music business with women. I think she would enjoy this time so much, the freedoms and the opportunities that are now given to women in the music business.
Margaret, last year you brought a band into the studio and played a song for us that you and Myra wrote, a song called Reconsider Me. And we received such an enthusiastic response to playing that. We'd like to play it again. Is that all right?
Oh, we'd be delighted if you played it again.
Oh, please reconsider me. I just can't make it, not without you. Baby, can't you see? So if you will let me, I will love you eternally. Oh, baby, 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 reconsider me. Oh, baby, 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 reconsider me.
Margaret Lewis, who co-wrote Reconsider Me with Myra Smith in the 60s, this afternoon in Nashville, Margaret Lewis will accept, on behalf of Myra Smith, the first induction into the new Women in Music Hall of Fame.